It's not easy coming being a clinic athlete, particularly when you haven't been exposed to stuff we're doing, and in addition to that is defense. So I think you guys did a really good job, and hopefully that helped the coaches here start to build an understanding of tagging up. You guys, questions, comments, thoughts, concerns about how it may suit, fit?
Just with, with that leak out, Lucas, did your experience when you were working with it last year ever have, say, the higher players can just hedge, allow that player to recover to pick his original matchup up?
That's fine.
Did that create too many headaches and just get into a rotation?
I think the more decisive you are, the better it's going to be. So it comes back to the offensive stuff we spoke about on Friday. If you're decisive, you can't be wrong. In this, there's clearly a bit more room to be wrong. But if they're decisive and go to a player, well, everyone else knows that someone else has to be covered. If I start hedging, coming back, and now this guy coming back, well, the other four are doing the same thing in response. Haki, how do you see that work with the under-12s to an extent?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest concerns we're going to have is you get a lot of, it's so easy to beat your player off the dribble, and then they're going to be already basket side, and when you get a, like a kick out to a short corner, say, or a deep shot,
Yep.
that's going to be a long closeout, and that player's way out of position. And like we did on, was it Friday, they'll be turning and sprinting without seeing the shot go up, and then they won't be able to know where they're
Yeah, so
I think that's going to be probably the biggest challenge we're going to have.
yeah, I think with that, again, it removes some of that grey area around. You guys can sit, stretch, grab water, call mum and dad if they're going to be a bit later, that's fine.
I think it's going to be more or less guard the closest player rather than, because I think
Yeah, absolutely.
they don't match up that well, but I think there'll be someone that they can see that's close to them, and it won't be them guarding them.
But again, takes that grey area out about them all being off. As we know, at 12s and 14s, even to an extent some of the 16s, all about just transition. So if we can kind of match up and stop them early, it's going to help us. The other point on Haki stuff then about getting beat in the full court, again referring to long-term development, those who can stay in front of their man or their woman, their match up in the full court, they're far more likely to continue to succeed. So if we can start instilling that, the value of that defence from the younger stage groups, the more likely our players are to succeed. Then those who are struggling with it, they have to keep working at it if they want to keep getting better.
But defensively, it's not about getting the right matchup. It's just about getting the closest player.
Closest player, stopping the ball, not letting them just get it and go free reign and beat us down the floor. It does become a challenge if your five does have to tag up on a point guard if they've been switching or whatever. But that's where we've got to try to get them on their back foot a little bit, keep it in front, give everyone else time to get back to positions, and ends up working itself out in the half court.
I think it's going to be a little bit of a battle because kids are so used to not wanting to get burnt, so they sag off. And
Yeah, the battle, an interesting one. Like it is one of those things because it is a lot different where we have to be all in on it. So the start of the men's program last year, there was some resistance because but if I do this and he gets past me, we just had to keep sticking with it and keep disciplining them and then really reward or really make an emphasis when someone's done the right thing. Because if I go and tag up my guy, scrumming me and getting nice and deep, get on the back foot, then back off, really the only way I should get beat is if everyone else is in poor position. Because they should look up and see the floor just feels. It kind of becomes on them. There's nothing wrong. I think it only happened one game last year, but there's nothing wrong with if a team is just smashing it in transition or we're doing a poor job tagging up. So, hey, we're just back. Right shot, we're back. Because there's nothing worse than the athletes losing faith in it because they're doing it not quite the right way and we just keep leaking layups. We did do that at least one, maybe 2 games because we had to. But I find it easier to bring them back if they're destroying us than trying to push them forward if we need to be more assertive. So let's be assertive first. We can retreat to being passive if we absolutely have to. Benny, you've done this stuff with the men's program and then implemented it with the state team. What did you find were some of the challenges in teaching it?
habits,
Yep.
especially experienced players. They want to do it, they know the advantage of it, and they really want to do it. But in the heat of the game, they just forget. And that's the same with any D-trans system. If one person doesn't do the right thing, it doesn't work. So it's not like it's just this one. If you don't have safety, the whole D-trans system doesn't work. So, yeah.
So Ben was assistant coach of the 16 state team, brought that to the head coach. He agreed to go with it. The question was put to them late in the process about whether it was the right thing to keep doing. They stuck with it, and that team ended up winning silver at nationals. Now, I'm not saying it's because they were tagging up, but again, it comes back to the stick with it and be fully committed. And if you have to, you can retreat them.
There was a few games where just the competitiveness which were brought around by doing that, by certain hand, a few extra possessions, byproducts, those last couple of games of the week. Yeah.
Yep. I'll obviously be around at practices, and this is where, as the communication recently has been about, yeah, we don't have perfect alignment with teams that are training together, but even if it's just 15 minutes, and it doesn't have to be 5-on-5 continuous if it's boys mixed with girls or top age 14s mixed with double bottom age 12s, but it just gets them in that habit, even if it's just gets the 2-on-2 or 3-on-3 with your teams. So it might be the 12 double bottom age 12s doing it, and then the 14s be waiting to sub in. It just gives us that full court practice, because I know it is challenging because we only have half courts, but that's what we've got to work together to make sure we get that full court element in. It may mean your team sits out every second possession, but we're going to be better because of it. Hopefully they're not getting beat in transition as much as historically junior teams do. Not just us, but junior teams do. All right, so I'll be around to help out with that stuff. I'll share clearly share this. I'll share, there's a report that Mel Downer, who was an assistant coach of the Australian 17 team, wrote after I think it was an Asia Cup, about the success of tagging up. And there's also another clinic that Aaron Fern, who at the time was head coach of the Cairns Taipan, so I'll also share that so you can see somebody else present it. He says things are slightly different. Something else in that may click, so I'll share those with you as well, so you've got as much information as possible. Again, thank you. We wrapped it up early so you can get home. We've got one more, Friday being Joe, so hopefully, again, it can be open-minded and see how the stuff Joe does on Friday then transfers back into the offensive style we spoke about last Friday, the defensive style we spoke about today, and how the footwork fits in as well. All right, thanks guys.